Okay, and so the next representations are going to be the energies 7 through 9. 7 represents the why of your existence through relationships. 7, consciously or unconsciously, represents how we relate to all things outside of ourselves and mirrors externally how we identify ourselves internally concerning the one energy. In astrology, you would study your 7th house to see how you discover the character and quality of the approach you take towards all basic life associations, whether of marriage, business, or cultural types. The greatest test are human relationships. So, selfhood and relationships are the two poles of one single fact. Birth demands what we come to know ourselves. Well, I'm sorry. Birth demand that we come to know ourselves and what we are, but it also calls upon us to seek to discover the why of our existence. This discovery can never come to us fully except through human relationships. So one could look at a chair, could describe it and analyze it and all its parts and the way the parts fit together. One then knows the structure of that chair. Yet the purpose of the chair may escape them completely. From the Celestine Prophecies, the seventh insight is following intuition. Now, with your mission in mind, as our lives move forward, we begin to notice synchronicities aimed at our ultimate calling. In this buildup of consciousness, we become aware of our intuitive guidance at a higher level. Now, for the discipline of the mind, for the representation of 7, we have Thomas. Thomas is the representation of the disciplined quality of the doubter or denier. For every, and this is the doubter or denier of every rumor and suggestion that are not in harmony with the rock, Simon Peter, has been commanded. I'm sorry. So to doubt and deny every rumor or suggestion that's not in harmony with the rock, Simon Peter, and what he has been commanded to let enter. The man who is conscious of being healthy, not because of inherited health, diets, or climate, but because he is awakened and knows the state of consciousness in which he lives, will, in spite of the conditions of the world, continue to express health. He could hear through the media, radio, and wise men of the world that a plague is sweeping the nation, sweeping the earth, and remain unmoved and unimpressed. This quality of denial, when disciplined, protects man from receiving impressions that are not in harmony with his nature. He adopts an attitude of total indifference to all suggestions that are foreign to that which he desires to express. Disciplined denial is not a fight, it's not a struggle, but is total indifference. The 8 energy, consciously or unconsciously, represents the unseen, which is the occult, infinity, transformation, cycles of death and rebirth, and legacy. In astrology, you would study your 8th house to discover how you might solve the problems concerning the practical solutions to work out life's purpose through human associations. The Celestine Prophecy insight from 8 is the giving energy to increase synchronistic experiences. Once we clearly see the process of synchronicity, what we observe most often is that people provide many of our synchronistic expressions, yet sometimes others do not feel comfortable talking to us. As a result, we end up leaving an encounter feeling as though we missed out on something that we were supposed to get from the person. We must actively uplift others by visualizing an expression of a higher connected consciousness in their eyes and on their face. Continue to visualize them moving above their ego in an authentic, united state. As a result of this, not only is the person lifted into a greater level experience, they are more likely to intuit some message they have for us. And this is important to understand, that synchronistic messages come through people. Sometimes when people have these synchronistic messages, we think the purpose of that synchronicity is for us to get with that person. And that's why some people hop from relationship to relationship to relationship, because they got a synchronicity through a person which they were supposed to get and keep moving. But because they don't understand synchronicity, they take the person, they create a relationship, it doesn't work because it wasn't supposed to work. They was not there for that, and then they have to let that relationship go. They don't make the connection, and they continue to do that over and over again. But moving on, the energetic representation of 8 for the disciplines of the mind and the 12 disciples is the quality of the mind. This quality of the mind reveals man's desires and gifts from the universe. The man who calls this disciple or discipline into being knows that every desire of his heart is a gift from the universe, and it contains both the power and the plan of its expression. No work here, okay? It already has the power and the plan. Such a man never questions the manner of its expression. He knows that the plan of expression is never revealed to man, for the ways of the universe are past finding out. He fully accepts his desire as gifts already received and goes on his way in peace and confident that they will appear. The 9 energy, consciously or unconsciously, represents higher learning, going above and beyond the regular or the norm. It's going beyond what we might be considered natural limits. Like I've stated in the intro, if you've always lived in one neighborhood your whole life, deciding to move to another state will be moving beyond what you're used to, or that natural limit that you're used to. In astrology, you will study your 9th house to see the indication of a general approach to any and all experiences of expansion into vaster fields of activity, consciousness, and understanding. We can see symbolically stated the path to our greatest self and the best way or the most natural way to perceive as we go along. What you will not be able to discover is whether you should seek expansion by traveling afar, rather than going through a deep study of philosophy or law, or through the path to profound and transforming mystical experiences, cosmic consciousness, or prophecy. This is how to expand safely and sanely. So the 9th insight concerning the Celestine Prophecy is about fulfilling human destiny. And we can see how if everyone were uplifting others, we would quickly accelerate the spiritual transformation of the world. When someone uplifts us, we feel it as an increased energy because we receive a greater experience with the divine. When we return this energy, it moves our heightened energy back into them. Both people doing this creates a hothouse effect back and forth, where both people feel the divine connection getting stronger and stronger. Think of the where to gather in my name phenomenon. When this goes viral, then everyone can quickly identify their life missions and can synchronistically move to the right place of service. Now, for the discipline of the mind and disciple, we have the 9th disciple called James, the son of Alphaeus. This is the quality of discernment. A clear and ordered mind is the voice which calls this disciple into being. This faculty perceives what is not revealed to the eye of man. This disciple judges not from appearances, for it has the capacity to function in the realm of causes, and so it is never misled by appearances. Clairvoyance is the faculty which is awakened when this quality is developed and disciplined. Not the clairvoyancy of mediumistic seance rooms, but true clairvoyance or clear seeing of the mystic. That is, this aspect of the mind has the capacity to interpret that which is seen. Discernment, or the capacity to diagnose, is the quality of James, the son of Alphaeus.